Budapest is a city that knows how to impress. Grand bridges span the Danube, steam rises from century-old baths, and every street seems built for a perfect photo. Over 3 days, you'll uncover its rhythm from royal palaces and riverside rides to cozy cafes and candlelit dinners. Let's dive into the best of Budapest. Best time to visit. Budapest is one of those rare cities that shine in every season, but it truly feels its best in spring and early autumn when the weather is gentle and the crowds are thinner. Between April and June or September and early October, days hover around 68 degrees Fahrenheit or 20 degrees Celsius, making it ideal for long walks, riverside bike rides, and open-air cafes. Whether you're visiting in the summer or freezing cold winter, the city never loses its magic, but these in-between months offer the perfect balance of sunshine, mild air, and lower prices. It's when the Danube glows at golden hour and the famous thermal baths are at their most relaxing. Visit in late May or early September to enjoy warm evenings, smaller crowds, and perfect weather for Danube cruises. Airport tips. Flying into the Budapest Ferenc Liszt International Airport, here are the 2 best ways to reach District V. The first is the 100E Airport Express bus, which runs straight to Deák Ferenc Square in the heart of Pest. It's clean, air-conditioned, and costs about 2,200 HUF, roughly $7 for a 30-minute ride. If you're carrying luggage or landing late, an official taxi or Bolt ride will cost around $32 and usually takes around 25 minutes to reach downtown. For those arriving by train instead, New Gati station connects directly to the M3 metro line, which also stops at Deák Ferenc tér, a simple way to reach the city center. Insider tip. Use only the official taxi desk inside the terminal to avoid overcharging. Unofficial drivers outside often inflate fares. Where to stay? Buda, the quieter, more residential side, sits to the west. Pest, where all the action happens, lies to the east. Most travelers choose Pest for its easy access to landmarks, cafes, and nightlife. In downtown Pest, District V, you'll find elegant hotels, steps from the Parliament, St. Stephen's Basilica, and Andrassy Avenue. Mid-range options such as Hotel Rum Budapest or Boho Hotel Budapest sit comfortably between $150 and $250 per night, combining style and convenience. For a livelier, more creative base, head to Tedesvaros, District 6, or Erzsébetváros, District 7. Great picks, especially for nightlife and food. Here, boutique stays average $60 to $100 per night and keep you close to ruin bars and street art. If you want something indulgent, Cosmo Hotel Suites and Spa, Parisi Udvar Hotel Budapest, and Aria Hotel Budapest deliver 5-star comfort with rooftop terraces and views of the Danube, starting from around $350 per night. Staying near Deák Ferenc Square means every metro line and airport bus is your doorstep, perfect for sightseeing days that start early and end late. How to get around. Getting around Budapest is refreshingly simple. The city's M3 metro line and network of trams and buses connect nearly every attraction, while most central neighborhoods are completely walkable. For a scenic shortcut, hop on Tram 2, which runs along the Danube and delivers some of the city's prettiest views. The Parliament on one side and Buda Castle on the other. A 24-hour transport pass costs about $6, and if you're staying for longer, a 72-hour version gives unlimited rides on all metro, tram, and bus lines. Walking is often the best way to experience Pest, where cafes, galleries, and markets sit just minutes apart. And for something unique, take the Buda Castle funicular, a steep, historic lift with sweeping views costing around $15. Insider tip. Always validate your paper ticket before boarding. Inspectors are strict, and fines can easily spoil the fun of your tram ride. Day 1. Exploring Pest's icons and flavors. Morning. Breakfast at Bite Bakery Café. Kick off your Budapest morning at Bite Bakery Café, located right near Octagon. This is a busy, cheerful spot known for having great coffee and quick, quality bites, exactly what's needed before a full day of exploring. For something sweet, be sure to go for their famous cinnamon roll, or you can grab a heartier start like the avocado bagel with cream cheese. Pair any order with a flat white and your fuel stop is complete. Everything here is freshly made, served fast, and you can expect the cost to be somewhere between $5 and $11 depending on exactly what you order. Forget about wasting time searching. This place is an instant win, putting your sightseeing on the fast track with great food perfectly positioned for your first adventure. Bike tour of Budapest. After breakfast, it's time to see Budapest from the absolute best seat, a bike. You have two easy options. Join one of the city's guided tours starting near City Park or Díkferenc Square, or simply rent your own wheels for the day. Both options are easy to arrange online, with daily rentals running about 2,500 to 3,500 HUF, or roughly $7 to $10. I can tell you that Budapest's flat streets and wide cycle lanes make it one of Europe's easiest capitals to explore on two wheels. Most routes take you straight through City Park or Városliget, a favorite local escape filled with statues, small lakes, and cafes. From there, you will glide into Heroes Square, which is Budapest's grandest open plaza, surrounded by incredible national monuments. This is definitely the kind of stop where every rider pauses for a quick photo. Just beyond the square stands Buda Castle, an architectural mixture of Gothic spires and Renaissance arches that feel straight out of a fairy tale. You can pass through its open courtyard, which is free to enter, but if you'd like to go inside later, the museum ticket costs about 3,000 HUF or $8, and the Gatehouse Tower climb adds another 400 HUF or $1. Next, roll into Liberty Square, called Szabadság tér, a wide, open area framed by grand facades and monuments like the Soviet War Memorial and the nearby US Embassy. Continue from here toward the Danube to visit the Shoes on the Danube, a deeply moving memorial honoring Jews who were killed during World War II. It's a quiet, reflective stop that leaves an impression long after you ride away. End your route at the Hungarian Parliament Building, one of Europe's most impressive pieces of architecture, with nearly 700 rooms, dozens of Gothic spires, and a towering neo-Renaissance dome that dominates the riverfront. It's striking in daylight, but absolutely stunning when illuminated at night. This easy ride through Pest takes you from city parks to palaces, from memorials to river views, a perfect mix of history, architecture, and open-air energy that sums up Budapest in just a few unforgettable hours. Afternoon. Lunch at Café Kör. By the time your ride wraps up, you'll be more than ready for lunch, and Café Kör is exactly the place to go. It's a long-time Budapest institution tucked into District 5, just a short walk from St. Stephen's Basilica. The setting is simple but welcoming, with crisp white tablecloths, quick service, and that unmistakable local rhythm that makes you feel like you've stepped into the city's everyday life. The menu focuses on Hungarian classics done right. You'll find must-try dishes like goulash soup, duck breast, chicken paprikash, and beef strips with vegetables, along with a few seasonal specials that change daily. Portions are generous without being heavy, and everything arrives piping hot and full of flavor. Prices stay fair for the quality. Lunch here averages 4,000 to 6,000 HUF, or roughly $11 to $17 per person, including a drink. This is exactly the fuel you'll need, a delicious, authentic local lunch that will reset your energy before tackling the incredible sights of the afternoon. St. Stephen's Basilica and panoramic views. Right after lunch, you should head straight towards St. Stephen's Basilica, which is the city's largest and most celebrated church. This massive neo-Renaissance landmark took more than 50 years to complete, and the attention to detail in its design is truly impossible to miss. From the grand facade to the statues standing guard outside, this is one of those places that stops you completely in your tracks. Step inside to see the glittering interior, the soaring dome, and one of Hungary's most sacred relics, the mummified right hand of Saint Stephen, the nation's first king. The sheer scale of the space feels both monumental and peaceful, with sunlight bouncing off gold accents that line the walls and arches. Entry to the church costs 2,400 HUF, around $7, while the all-in one ticket, which also includes the treasury and the panoramic terrace, is 6,200 HUF, around $18. I recommend getting the full ticket because the terrace offers sweeping views over the Danube and the Parliament building, easily ranking among Budapest's most impressive vantage points. Late afternoon, House of Terror Museum. Next, you need to make your way to the House of Terror Museum, one of Budapest's most powerful and emotionally heavy experiences. The museum is deliberately set inside the former headquarters of both the Nazi-affiliated Aerocross Party and the Soviet secret police. This is the very building where countless people were detained, interrogated, and killed. Inside, the exhibits trace Hungary's fascist and communist occupations through compelling personal stories, chilling photographs, and original artifacts. Every floor tells a different part of the country's 20th century struggle, and walking through the preserved prison cells below the building leaves a truly lasting impression. Tickets cost 4,000 HUF, about $12, and be aware that the museum is closed on Mondays. For a deeper and more thorough understanding, it is absolutely worth paying the extra 2,000 HUF, around $6 for the English audio guide. Plan to spend around 1.5 to 2 hours here. It's not an easy visit, but it is an essential one for anyone wanting to grasp Hungary's recent history. Evening, dinner at Hoppá Bistro. Wrap up your first day in Budapest with dinner at Hoppá Bistro, a place that proves comfort food can be refined. The atmosphere is relaxed but elegant, and the plates show incredible care. The menu masterfully blends Hungarian tradition with unmistakable French flair. For your starter, look for the French-style steak tartare, beautifully elevated with truffled squid ink mayonnaise and a quail egg. It's easily one of the standout options. For your main, don't skip the chef's plate of catfish paprikash, a creative twist on a national classic paired with smoked curd stuffed pasta rolls. If you still have room, the cottage cheese dumplings are a showstopper. This recipe comes straight from the chef's grandmother, served with a warm blueberry sauce. Expect dinner here to average 6,000 to 8,500 HUF, around $16 to $23 per person. It's an experience that perfectly captures Budapest's evolving food scene, stylish, memorable, and absolutely worth a reservation. Late evening, cocktails. If you're still in the mood to keep the night going, grab a drink at one of Budapest's top cocktail spots. In the colder months, check out Blue Fox, the bar at Kapinski Hotel Corvinus, known for its creative drinks like the Run Rabbit, mixed with dark rum, carrot, and chili. When summer rolls around, head to the High Note Sky Bar atop the Aria Hotel beside St. Stephen's Basilica. Its rooftop setting and music-themed cocktails like the Frank Sinatra with Aperol and cherry make it the perfect place to end the evening with a view. Day 2. Castles, baths, and river lights. Morning. Széchenyi Thermal Bath. If you didn't get to see much of City Park on your first day, your second morning picks up right there, and this time it's all about slowing the pace and soaking it all in. Budapest is world famous for its thermal waters, and a visit to Széchenyi Thermal Bath is practically a rite of passage. Built in 1913 inside a grand neo-Baroque palace, it's the city's largest and most beloved spa, a favorite for both locals and travelers. Bring a swimsuit, a towel, and flip-flops and get ready for the real Budapest morning routine. You'll be surrounded by bright yellow walls and sweeping archways, and once you step into the water, take a look around. Locals chat, read newspapers, and yes, play chess right there in the steaming pools. It's the perfect mix of daily life and local tradition that makes this place so special. The baths open early, 7 a.m. on weekdays and 8 a.m. on weekends, and that's when the experience feels the best. Plan to stay for about an hour and a half to 2 hours before moving on to brunch. Insider tip. If you arrive on a weekday before 9 a.m., you snag the Good Morning Budapest ticket, quieter pools, better vibes, and a friendlier price. Late morning, brunch in City Park. After your amazing soak at the baths, brunch is waiting just steps away in City Park. If you're wrapping up around noon, head to Vadosliget Café. This is the elegant restaurant by the lake, boasting those postcard views of the magnificent Buda Castle. It's perfect for a relaxed midday meal, serving up classic Hungarian dishes you've been waiting for, like rich goulash soup, juicy duck breast, and comforting chicken paprikash, along with fantastic coffee and desserts. Expect to spend around $30 to $55 for a full meal with drinks. Now, if you've zipped through the spa a bit earlier, Csok Bistro is your spot. It opens bright and early and serves up a proper brunch. Think perfect eggs Benedict, fresh avocado toast, and delicious French toast, all plated beautifully. Prices average around $10 to $15 per dish. The cafe's easygoing, friendly feel makes it a great, quick stop before you jump across the river for the afternoon's adventures. Afternoon, walk across the chain bridge. It's time to leave Pest behind and make your way across the Széchenyi Chain Bridge, Budapest's most iconic crossing. Opened back in 1849, it was the first permanent bridge to connect the two sides of the city, and it's still the one everyone remembers. The bridge is guarded by 4 enormous stone lions standing watch at each end. There's even a local legend that the sculptor forgot to give them tongues and was so embarrassed he jumped into the Danube. Don't worry, the lions do have tongues, but the story stuck anyway. Take your time walking across. From here, the view is unbeatable. The Parliament building on one side, Gellért Hill rising in the distance, and the rooftops of Castle Hill waiting ahead. In just 10 to 15 minutes, you'll be standing at the Buda side at Clark Adams Square, ready to start your climb toward the castle. Climbing Castle Hill. Once you've crossed the river, it's time to tackle Castle Hill, where you'll find Budapest's entire royal history waiting for you. You've got 2 great options to get you to the top. You can easily walk up in about 10 minutes, or you can take the classic Buda Castle funicular. It's a short but incredibly scenic ride, and it costs around 5,000 HUF round trip, roughly $15. Just know that either way, the view gets better with every single step you take. At the peak stands the magnificent Buda Castle. Often called the Royal Palace, the sprawling complex that once belonged to Hungary's kings. The best part is, the Baroque courtyards and terraces are free to explore, so you can easily spend an hour just wandering the grounds, looking across the Danube and the towering Parliament building below. While you're there, you'll find 2 of the city's top cultural spots. First up is the Hungarian National Gallery, which is filled with centuries of Hungarian art. Expect admission to cost about $16. Second, there's the Budapest History Museum, which truly dives deep into the city's royal past, with tickets priced around $10 to $11 for a full admission. However, even if museums aren't your primary focus, simply walking the grounds feels cinematic. Those golden facades and cobblestone squares offering jaw-dropping panoramic views that transform every moment into a picture-perfect memory. Late afternoon, Matthias Church. Now that you've explored the castle grounds, it's time to move on to Matthias Church, a stunning Gothic landmark that dominates the main square on Castle Hill. The church dates back to the 13th century and possesses a truly rich history, having hosted royal coronations, state ceremonies, and even served as a mosque during Ottoman rule. When you step inside, prepare to be captivated by its restored frescoes, the vibrant stained glass, and the unique, beautifully tiled roof, a feature that has become one of Budapest's signature sights. Admission is approximately 3,100 HUF, or about $9, and I recommend allowing at least half an hour for your visit. If your time is limited, concentrate on the main hall and the spectacular exterior tile work. These elements capture the church's essence quickly. If you have more time to spare, head into the small museum and the crypt to view centuries-old relics and artifacts that trace the lineage of Hungary's royal history. Fisherman's Bastion. Just steps from Matthias Church, you arrive at the Fisherman's Bastion, a structure that truly belongs in a fairy tale. Built in the early 1900s, it welcomes you with rounded, sugar-white towers and graceful stone walls that simply glow in the late afternoon sun. While the Bastion is named for the Fishermen's Guild that once guarded this spot, today it's all about the panorama. From these terraces, you capture the Parliament building, the chain bridge, and the entire Pest skyline stretched out below you across the Danube. Insider tip. Even though the lowest levels are yours to explore entirely free of charge, I recommend paying the small ticket price, about $4, to reach the very best viewing platforms in the upper towers. However, it's absolutely worth it for the enhanced height and clear perspective, especially when the afternoon sun illuminates the white stone and the golden-hued city. Labyrinth of Buda Castle. Now for a complete change of pace, let's head down. Beneath Castle Hill, you'll find one of Budapest's most atmospheric and frankly coolest attractions, the Labyrinth of Buda Castle. This isn't a modern tourist trap, this is a genuine, centuries-old network of tunnels and caves that has been used for everything from a wine cellar to a prison. History practically drips from the narrow stone walls. The most notorious resident? According to local lore, it was none other than Vlad the Impaler, the historical figure who inspired the Dracula legend. Walking through these dim, humid passages, it's easy to imagine why. The labyrinth embraces its mysterious side, with sections where the lights dim, leaving you to navigate by a guide rope through the darkness. It's a wonderful, brief moment of spooky adventure, and it offers an incredible break from the summer heat. The Labyrinth is open daily from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Tickets are approximately $16. I highly recommend this stop for a memorable, different side of the castle district. It's quiet, shadowed, and a little bit thrilling. Evening. Dinner at Stand 25. Following an afternoon on Castle Hill, the ideal dining experience on the Buda side is Stand 25. This Michelin Bib Gourmand awarded bistro, run by acclaimed chefs Sabina Zulo and Tomasz Zel, elevates Hungarian cuisine with precision and high-quality local ingredients. It offers a stylish yet comfortable atmosphere. Located near the Chain Bridge, Stand 25 is known for its warm, comforting dishes. Consider starting with the creamy, smoky jokai bean soup or the rich duck foie gras with fruit chutney. Main courses are hearty and refined. Highlights include the tender, slow-roasted duck leg with apple cabbage salad and the intensely flavorful wild boar cheek stew served with buttery noodles and a vibrant beetroot salad. Expect approximately $50 to $90 per person for a 3-course dinner, excluding drinks and service. This restaurant is a celebration of Hungarian food perfected. Due to its popularity, securing a reservation is essential. Late evening. Danube River Cruise. The captivating, illuminated beauty of Budapest simply demands to be seen from the water. A Danube River cruise is the perfect signature way to conclude an evening. Following dinner, a short stroll across the Chain Bridge leads directly to the primary dock areas on the Pest side, such as near Vigato Square, a convenient spot to board. These evening voyages are efficient and delightful, generally lasting for an hour or more. For a standard sightseeing experience, expect ticket prices to range between $15 to $35 per person. You'll most likely receive a complimentary welcome drink, often a glass of sparkling wine or a soft drink. The cruise route ensures prime viewing of the floodlit landmarks, the magnificent Parliament building, the stately Buda Castle, and the historic bridges. This brief cruise offers incredible views of photo opportunities of the entire city skyline. If you prefer to stay on land, a romantic post-dinner walk along the riverbank offers equally charming views of the glittering city. Day 3. Island Green, Market Life, and Jewish Quarter Vibrance. Morning. Breakfast at Madal Café. We're kicking off the day at Madal Café on Holan Erno Utka, a top-tier spot perfect for a quiet, high-quality start. This cafe is famous for its strict focus on specialty coffee. It's where you go when you want more than just a regular brew. The minimalist space and good coffee, good karma mantra give you the perfect moment of peace before a busy day of exploring. Forget the average cup and go premium. You need to leverage their quality. A perfectly balanced flat white is always a brilliant choice, or go for a meticulous V60 filter coffee. For food, grab one of their fresh, quick pastries from the counter, like a delicious vegan croissant or a simple, savory sandwich. Expect to spend $4 to $7 for a specialty coffee and a pastry or a small bite. This pit stop gives you premium fuel and a little zen moment, setting the perfect mood for the rest of your adventure. Rome Margaret Island. Caffeinated and ready, your next move is simple. Take the quick 5-minute walk to the Jasai Mariter tram stop and hop on tram 4 or 6 for a scenic few-minute ride straight over to Margaret Bridge and onto the island. This beautiful car-free oasis floating on the Danube is your morning green escape, packed with quirky, lively vibes and stunning views, especially when the weather is nice. You can absolutely stroll, but for maximum fun, you should embrace the rental options available right by the bridge's entrance. Grab a bike, a tandem, or one of those hilarious multi-person Bringo Hinto pedal carts. Standard bike rentals are cheap, starting around $3 to $5 per hour. While you explore, make sure to seek out the peaceful Japanese garden, and try to time your visit to catch the dazzling water show at the musical fountain, which typically runs hourly. For the best panorama of the city and the whole island, climb the historic water tower near the center. It's the perfect spot for a sunny, low-key morning, allowing you to move at your own pace before going to the next big stop. Afternoon, lunch at Central Market Hall. From the green calm of the island, it's time to switch gears and dive into the colorful chaos of Budapest's Central Market Hall. To get there, simply jump on Tram 2, one of the city's most scenic routes. From the Jasai Mari Tér stop, which will take you directly along the river, and drop you right at the market's doorstep near the Liberty Bridge. Even though this massive, towering neo-Gothic hall is definitely popular with tourists, it's still absolutely worth visiting. Inside, you'll find a vibrant mix of sights, sounds, and smells. The main floor is stacked with Hungarian food stalls, fresh produce, cured meats, and tons of Tokaji wine. Head upstairs for artisanal goods, souvenirs, and a proper Hungarian lunch. If you're ready for some hearty home-style eating, make a beeline for Fakanal Eterem on the second level. This place specializes in granny-style Hungarian dishes and is a fantastic spot for a relaxed midday meal. You absolutely must order the stuffed cabbage to share. It's a classic for a reason. Expect a filling, authentic main dish here to cost around $10 to $16. Insider tip. If the main hall feels too busy for you, remember this is just one of many historical food markets in Budapest. For a more authentic, local-focused experience, you can always stop by Feni Street Market, Lehel Market, or Rákóczi Market Hall instead. Hungarian National Museum. Fresh from the Market Hall, your next stop is the Hungarian National Museum for a deep dive into the nation's past. Walking only 10 minutes from the market will get you right at the museum's entrance. This is the definitive place to trace Hungary's incredible story, starting from prehistoric and Roman times, moving through the Magyar conquest and the rise of the Hungarian kingdom right up to the modern era. The museum is housed in one of Budapest's most beautiful neoclassical palaces, so even the grand staircase and main hall are part of the experience. You need to dedicate about 2 hours to see it all properly. Make sure you prioritize the most powerful exhibits, including the intense sections on World War II and the Communist period. But you must absolutely seek out the nation's most treasured relic, the coronation mantle, a 1,000-year-old ceremonial robe displayed alongside the magnificent Suso treasure, an extraordinary collection of late Roman silver that's truly beautiful. Since the museum closes daily at 6 p.m., aim to get there no later than 4:30 p.m. if you want to ensure you get the full 2 hours of viewing time. You'll also want to make sure you plan this stop for a Tuesday through Sunday, as the entire venue is always closed on Mondays. A full adult ticket will cost you around $16 to $17. Late afternoon, wander the Jewish Quarter and Dohány Synagogue. From the museum, the flow takes you right into the heart of District 7, Budapest's most vibrant and edgy area, the Jewish Quarter. This neighborhood was once the city's Jewish ghetto, but today it's been transformed into Budapest's main nightlife, arts, and culture hub. The best plan here is to simply wander and let the area guide your journey. Take your time wandering through the streets of Király, Széchenyi, Dob, and Dohány, each one packed with cafes, murals, and design shops. While you're here, you absolutely cannot miss the Dohány Street Synagogue. Built in 1859 in a distinctive Moorish style, the Dohány Street Synagogue can seat nearly 3,000 people, making it the largest in Europe and one of the most remarkable anywhere. A ticket for the complex is not cheap, running about $35 to $39. However, the entry fee covers a full experience, including beautiful main interior, the Hungarian Jewish Museum, the moving outdoor Holocaust Memorial Park, a ghetto exhibit, and the historic cemetery. If you buy your ticket online ahead of time, a professional guided tour is typically included. Even if you skip the ticket, pause outside. The facade alone is one of the prettiest sights in the district. Just remember to dress conservatively out of respect for the venue, and note that the complex is closed on Saturdays and during Jewish holidays, so plan accordingly. Evening, dinner at Gettó Gulyás. For a fantastic final dinner in the Jewish Quarter, make your way over to Gettó Gulyás. This cozy restaurant is absolutely famous for delivering authentic, stick-to-your-ribs Hungarian recipes with a huge focus on delicious, savory stews. Trust me, you're in for something special here. Look for classic dishes like chicken paprikash, served with perfect Hungarian egg noodles, a rich pork knuckle stew with potatoes, or a hearty venison stew featuring juniper, mushrooms, and bread dumplings. A filling main course will typically cost you around $8 to $15. Start things off with a hortobágy palacsinta, a savory crepe stuffed with meat and covered in creamy paprikash sauce. It's pure comfort food. Insider tip. This place is insanely popular with both locals and visitors. It's often fully booked days in advance, so you absolutely must make a reservation before you show up to avoid disappointment. Late evening, ruined bars. It's time to cap off your day with one of Budapest's signature experiences, the ruined bars. This idea was born right here in the Jewish Quarter when locals decided to reclaim the huge, derelict post-war buildings and fill them with chaotic, vibrant art, mismatched furniture, and endless creativity. The result is a wild, multi-story experience, a glimpse into the city's edgy, countercultural heart. You should definitely start your tour at Zimpala Kert. As the city's very first ruin bar, it set the standard for the movement and remains a massive, sprawling labyrinth of pure visual chaos. If you're looking for a bigger party with multiple zones, you can easily walk over to the enormous Instant Fogas bar complex nearby. These spots offer some of the most unique and eccentric nights out in all of Europe. 3 days here are just enough to fall for the city's glow, the mix of history, flavor, and late-night energy that make Budapest unforgettable. If this journey inspired you, like the video, subscribe, and turn on the bell for more guides just like this. And when you're ready for the next adventure, check out our trips to Vienna and Prague. They're closer than you think.